So, guys, we've been talking about things to do to get the new job, ways to go about it. Now, let's talk about some of the things that we've seen that could be issues during the interview process. So, we've got some things we want to talk about that you want to be mindful of when you show up for the interview. Miss Andrea, would you help us look at these issues?
Sure, Derek. My first, topic is going to be about being on time. Derek, do you think it is appropriate to come to an interview, let's say an hour early? Is that good?
An hour early?
1 hour early. Your interview is for 2:30 and you arrive at 1:30.
No, I don't think so. Usually, I've always been told you want to arrive 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time so that you can get the layout of the land, you can sit down, prepare yourself, center yourself, and be ready for the interview. Being an hour may be a little too much.
That's a little too much. And it's going to be a little off-putting for that employer if you actually show up and say, hey, I'm here for the interview. So never do that. Even if you do get there early, say 30 minutes early, don't go in. Stay outside. Do not come into that interview any more than 10 minutes prior to that appointed time. And also know that when you're in the interview, people are watching you. You haven't been interviewed yet, but everything you do from the time that you walk in that door is being observed by those other individuals who work there. So be mindful of being on your phone if you're sitting in the lobby. Don't be on your phone. Don't be having that conversation, that last minute conversation that you think no one is listening to. Trust and believe, people talk. I used to work in an office, and our front desk person would do just that. When people would come and sit in the lobby, they'd be on the phone, they'd be talking, and he would report that. And it's not snitching or tattling. It is just giving information about that person's behavior, about their character, and about how they present themselves. So be mindful. Turn your phone off. If you're there for the interview, be present, be ready for the interview. Unless you are reviewing your resume or interview questions on your phone should be off. The other topic...
Definitely, with 100% certainty, do not make calls on speaker.
Oh, never that. Even if you're not on a job interview, I'm going to advise not. That's your personal business. Everybody doesn't want to hear what you are talking about on the phone with someone. Have some headphones on, but please don't put it on speakerphone. That is rude. And it's just rude. My next topic is attire, Derek. And I always tell people, you always want to present your best self. And so, me, I always want to go dressed to the nines. If it's a suit, I'm going to wear a suit. As a woman, I wear a pantsuit or I wear a dress suit. I remember Kurt talking about my interview when I came from Roca, and he said just that I was dressed up. I was suited down. And if you don't have a suit, nice pair of khakis, a belt. If the pants have hoops, put a belt on, gentlemen. Tuck your shirt in. You can wear a polo shirt or you can wear a button-up shirt, but it needs to be clean. Your clothing needs to be, ironed. It needs to be clean and presentable. Okay, you don't always have to wear a suit jacket or tie, but if that's something that you like, we have access to free suits. Because I believe every young man should own a good suit. Anything else you want to add to that, Derek?
Well, I think we should be dressed appropriately for whatever the job is. So some things we may want to show up. Say we're going for a construction interview. We may want to show up. We could still have on khakis, work boots, and a blue shirt. But we don't have to have a jacket and tie, like you said. So there are things that we can look at the nature of the work and determine what is appropriate attire for the interview.
That is true, and I agree with it. And to the extent that I'll add, you also don't know, just because you're going to apply for a specific job, you don't know if there may be another position that's open that you may qualify for. So that's the reason why I lean towards presenting your best self. You can have your work clothes in the bag. If they do offer you the job, I want you to start that day. But if you go dressed and presentable as if, right, you don't know what position you may end up with. So just keep in mind, making sure that you're putting some thought into what you wear when you do go on the interview. My final two things are your attitude. Come expecting to get the job. Don't be too arrogant or too cocky about it, but be confident in yourself. Be confident that you can say you've studied the interview questions. You can talk about yourself freely. You can talk about your criminal background appropriately and concisely if you need to. And you can talk about the skills that you have for the job you're applying for. The worst thing in the world you can do is go to an interview and not be able to speak to the skills that you have for the job you're applying for. Because why are you there? Anything to add to that, Derek? So attitude is everything. You always want to expect the best, be able to adapt, be able to adjust, and be able to follow directions. That's what every employer wants. And we hope that this information is helpful for you as you continue your job seeking journeys. Thanks, guys. See you later.